Dude, we're live.
Wait, what?
We're on.
On what?
23 shots of or with JD?
Wait, the mic's live?
Yes.
I think it's off. Just go off.
What's up? This is the 23 Shots of JD podcast. How's it going? You don't like that?
What was that, dude?
You said bring energy.
Not that type of energy. What's was
And
that?
then you show me.
Alright. Hey guys, this is 23 Shots of JD podcast.
Yeah, I guess that's better. Let's roll straight into it. Let's go.
Guy in the NBA should ever wear 23. I've been working on that shot my whole life, and for that one to go in, that was liberating right there, man.
And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I honestly do. But we talking about
23 Shots of JD podcast.
We can kick it off now.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back.
This is the 50th podcast.
It is the 50th podcast, so it is a pretty big podcast. Hitting the half century, raising the bat. Not take off the helmet, but just a cheeky raise the bat, which I don't know why take off the helmet's a big thing. Like what is it in cricket where it's like raising the bat plus the helmet equals 100?
Because it's more of a relief. It's more of a celebration.
I guess.
It's like you hit a home run. It's like it's cool. You hit a grand slam. It's like you go crazy.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just because if it was me, I'd bet yo.
It's the difference between tying the game and winning the game with a buzzer beater.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's true. But yeah, I don't know. 50 podcasts. That's pretty insane.
It's pretty solid.
Realistically,
It's a lot.
That's a lot of you guys and us just talking. That's at least a cumulative amount of 50 hours or something, or just our voices.
It is about 50 hours.
Just our voices. Hey.
It's a lot.
But yeah, I guess talking about podcasts, continuing with this trend. I don't know if you heard about the whole Kevin Durant, CJ McCollum situation. Basically, a bit of backstory of how no one's really heard. CJ McCollum has a podcast. I forgot what it's called. You could probably search it up or whatever. But yeah, he had a podcast and he got Kevin Durant on, and they were just talking about
all these
stuff.
players have podcasts
Yeah,
now.
too many players are having podcasts.
I get Kyrie Irving because he's a conspiracy theorist and it's entertaining.
Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, when he had a podcast, that was good. But then,
CJ McCollum, what is CJ McCollum with Draymond Green going to talk about?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, CJ, it's just an odd pod. CJ McCollum it's like, you're not even good enough to make the USA select team.
I think he would have got in there.
Maybe
he's good enough.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was surprised he didn't get invited.
Did he not get invited?
Well, I don't.
Because Damian Lillard wasn't there.
No, he was there.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
I think
Isaiah Thomas was there.
He definitely would have got invited.
Kemba Walker was there. Who else was
Well, Clay wasn't there.
Clay wasn't there, but
Steph wasn't there.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They obviously didn't have the big gun. They did have some big guns like KD, obviously, but they didn't have all the prime,
all of the
elite.
Stars.
Yeah, they had Miles Turner. I guess they had a lot of people that haven't really been in.
They get the young guys in as well.
Yeah, so it was pretty good. But yeah, back to the whole KD CJ situation. So essentially, CJ has KD on his podcast. KD, you could say, is bringing that star power to that podcast because I guess I don't know. It could be a good podcast. I'm not trying to judge, but CJ McCollum. If it's anything to do, if it's reflective of how he plays basketball, it's probably not the flashiest. So, but yeah, and then basically, he goes in the podcast. Things all good, kumbaya. I think they do talk about a little bit about the whole KD leaving OK situation.
That's all you should talk about.
Well, yeah, essentially, they talk about a lot of different stuff, but yeah. Basically, he does the podcast, they release it or whatever, and then CJ McCollum goes on Twitter, and then not even really promoting the podcast. I guess it could be because he's trying to cause a little bit of
Someone
drama.
just asked him a question because I think they probably didn't. That's my thing. They obviously didn't talk about it enough during the podcast. Yeah. So I mean, he had a whole hour. He should have talked about it then.
Yeah.
But someone basically, I think, in following up, basically kind of was like, "Oh, a response to the podcast is, what do you think on this?" Because they obviously didn't talk about it a lot. And then CJ just gave him an honest response.
Yeah, CJ was just like, I think it was, basically like a cat move or whatever. Just, beta type of move. And then, KD comes...
Of course, Kevin Durant, the Donald Trump of the NBA, has to respond on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You gotta be fair to him though. Like he does his podcast, but basically Katie goes,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Katie goes, oh well, cheers, mate. I did your podcast, blah blah blah. I'm helping you out. What a snake. What a bitch, whatever. And it's like at this, like I know everyone's probably gonna hate on KD because it's like, oh blah blah blah, what a cat or whatever. But it's like he did do him a favor. He did CJ McCollum a favor.
He
Like,
did, and CJ should have brought it up, and they should have talked about it face
Exactly.
to face. But what was CJ supposed to do? Was he just supposed to lie?
No.
He was just
Definitely
giving
not.
his honest opinion on it.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe they could be some type of courtesy where it's like,
Yeah, you just gave me a favor.
You know what I mean? Like, you see a friend or whatever, or you see someone and you're like, he's got a bad haircut. You could be the guy to be like, dude, that's a terrible haircut. But if you could just be like, oh, you got a haircut. You don't have to say it's terrible. You don't have to say it's good. You can just say, you can acknowledge it.
Well, the way I put it is, if you cut your friend's hair and give your friend a good haircut, then you go to the barber. The barber gives you a terrible haircut. Then that friend who you gave a good haircut then says, hey, that barber gave you a terrible haircut.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, I just did you a favor. It's like, I just cut your hair. You didn't have to call me out on my bad hair.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to call it for something obvious and something that's happened basically 2-3 years ago. And it's like, they keep rehashing the old news, and I know this is probably going to be forever intertwined with Katie's legacy and stuff. But it's like,
they did ask one question
Yeah,
on
go.
the thing. He said, what do you think of when you hear about Oklahoma City? And he said home.
oh, Katie.
He did say, so they did, like, yeah.
I guess it is home. Like, he was there for what, 9 years or
He
something.
never won them a ring, though,
9 years, but he is in the Sports Hall of Fame though, so he is
in Oklahoma.
Yeah, which I don't know what type of company.
Russell-
I don't know what the catalog is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but,
true, but Russell Westbrook is definitely taken over the King of OKC title.
Oh, 100%.
For
He
sure.
is by far the king of OKC, and like, yeah, and then it's funny because now like, now it's like this narrative again of how Ross is like hard to play with or whatever, and then you see people like Enes Kanter's going on like all the sport outlets and stuff, and he's saying,
Enes Kanter's a good looking dude.
and he's dude. For someone that's I think he's an immigrant, like he's from Turkey, like
He
lives
speaks
in Turkey,
very good English.
really, really good English, really articulate, super funny, and like
He seems like a good dude.
yeah,
like
just a god.
LeBron, like him and LeBron had like beef, but I think like that was just him sticking up for his teammates. I think he's actually apparently he's a good teammate, a good bloke.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, well, yeah, him and Steven Adams were like the Murray brothers or whatever.
Yeah,
they
the
were.
Stash Bros.
Yeah, Stash Bros, and it's like, even though he played for the New York Knicks, he still came and watched the playoff games with OKC and stuff.
Yeah,
so, like,
they all love him.
definitely a super, super good guy. And he kept on reiterating that Ross is like the best teammate he ever had. Super,
Well, just because he plays. I mean, same with Isaiah Thomas. Oh, actually, no. Russ is probably better, but like, just because like their play on the court might be a little selfish,
Yeah.
doesn't mean like they are selfish people.
Yeah.
Probably just is how he plays.
Exactly, and it's probably not selfish.
He probably just
It's just
that's all he knows.
He's trying to play hard. He goes,
Yeah.
when I play my best, I feel like we win. So
Exactly.
He's probably just trying to maximize his opportunity and his time
So
or
you
whatever.
can criticize the game, but you can't criticize why, like the mind behind it. You can't criticize why he does it.
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, he is a good teammate. That's why Paul George stayed.
Yeah, exactly. And again, even Paul George at the mini camp or whatever, the USA mini camp was saying, oh, he's the reason why I want to stay. He's like one of the best players I've ever played with.
All the other teammates like not me. You're not
Not
saying
me,
because of
yeah.
me.
I know he just swerves.
It's all Russ.
Yeah, it's funny. And it's just constantly just Ross. Even though like some pretty good players on that.
Steven
Adams, Jeremy Grant.
Rachel Demeters, man.
Roberson. You can't get Roberson. But yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, talking about the mini camp, one person that we talked about who got selected, who didn't get selected. One person who I guess did get invited but didn't show up for who knows.
Well,
what
let's finish off
reasons.
that CJ thing though quickly. What you were gonna say something before we got taken off?
Oh well, I was just gonna say that was just, I guess, from a holistic.
So
standpoint-
KD came back and there was beef.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess it's probably in the end helped CJ promote his podcast or whatever. Like it's helped him definitely.
Yeah.
Expand or get a better audience or just get more mainstream with it, whatever. So
Be tough to get other guests on in the future though.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess. But I was surprised that I didn't know CJ and Katie were like that, or is it? Do you think he just hit him up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird because I
It's
thought
a-
they would have been friends.
Yeah, it was weird.
And there was banter about leaning. Kevin Durant's manager was talking trash about leaning to CJ and like kind of banter in the comments in
Yeah.
Instagram. So like,
I thought they were friends. It's weird.
And like they had like a little banterous, talk on like the podcast and stuff, saying like, oh yeah, if I was on Portland, we would win the championship and all that stuff. It was like all good stuff.
Well,
But
Durant knows that's not true.
Yeah,
they would get probably swept by the Warriors.
yeah, probably. But yeah, I guess the whole CJ KD thing, I think to me it was weird that it even happened. I don't even know.
It was the beef the world really didn't ask for.
Yeah, it was like yeah, it's literally again rehashing stuff that's 2 to 3. Like it's known. It's like, cool,
Like
we get it.
Damian Lillard and KD going at it, I'd be like, oh, I get that. But CJ?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know. CJ out of all people is just.
I'd like to see Kawhi get on a podcast.
Well, I don't. Can he even speak though? Like I don't even know if he can actually pull multiple like a paragraph of sentences.
Well, I
together.
mean, didn't we? Well, we just maybe we were talking about it last week. He's already lost when you take into account tax now because of this move away from San Antonio. Probably $100 million.
Yeah.
Jordan have just announced that they're going to part ways with him as well.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is falling apart.
They don't want like. It's just I don't know. And then now he came out again with another story or like reports saying that the whole fraction between him and the Spurs happened like back in 2016 in his first All-Star game or whatever. Like he was like saying, I felt like I was mistreated and stuff by the Spurs during my first All-Star appearance and stuff like that, and I was like,
Also, how?
that's what I mean. It's like how, but it was so vague that it's like, what do you want, dude? And it was ironic because it did happen in Toronto, so it was like, I don't know how to get mistreated. I don't know if it's like they didn't promote him enough or they didn't like.
They're the Spurs.
do all
It's
this
how they
stuff.
work.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
They made him a star.
they just keep going at it, and then he was like, "Oh, I want to go to USA basketball camp," and now he's not. Now he didn't go to USA.
Well,
basketball
did you see the
camp.
photo? Popovich, I reckon, deliberately did it.
What?
He saved. There were obviously like how many ever RSVP'd to go, and Kawhi was one of them.
Yeah.
And so when they did the photo, they left a spare seat
Oh, really?
for the one guy who didn't show up, and that was Kawhi. So you can
Really?
see the photo. And there's just this awkward gap between the guy closest to Pop and Pop,
Really?
and you can tell
That's
he
pretty
like
cool.
deliberately
I didn't
left
know
it
that.
so that everyone would see that Kawhi like told him he'd come and then didn't
Yeah.
come.
That's hilarious. I don't
Dude,
sort of picture
Pop
it.
is a savage. He honestly deported him. Now he's showing everyone what an idiot he is by like
Yeah.
doing this. He's probably badmouthed him to every sponsor in the country.
Yeah. It's
Like,
he's just a gig. Like this is why I don't know. He could be viewed as the greatest coach of all time. I think Phil Jackson, just based on championships, has to be. But
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like he's a dog.
Whereas like Phil Jackson had sort of Kobe, MJ, Pippen.
Shaq.
Whereas like
Well,
Pop's had some great players, but not as many.
yeah.
He's made more great players as well.
yeah, definitely. Like Shaq came to him.
Yeah, then he got Powell ready made.
Yeah, MJ was already a star before like Phil Jackson came to coach the Bulls
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see that. But
Pops makes the start. Kawhi.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's gonna be so interesting to see what.
Plus, he's a
What Kawhi
savage,
gonna
and all the
get.
players love him. But he is a true savage.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, everyone in the like you see all the interviews and stuff. They're like all like
They all love
respecting Pop and stuff. Pop. It was funny. There was like they were doing like a drill and Pop was getting into him, like shoving them and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you just tell he's a good, kind, warm-hearted type.
He's
of
a
dude.
good guy. I think Kawhi. This is one of the biggest mistakes of Kawhi's life.
I hope that whatever outcome's gonna happen before the season, after season, I hope puts Kawhi's frame in mind. You know what I mean?
I hope Kawhi gets his head switched on because
Yeah.
he is a beast to watch.
He's one of the best players.
And,
left.
and I will say this: if he starts playing well, sponsorships will come back.
Yeah.
Right now, he is one of the least marketable guys in American sports.
Yeah.
But he carries them to a finals.
Yeah,
They
if
come
he-
right back.
If he takes basically a whole country,
Yeah.
a whole country of fans to the finals, then the amount of exposure he's gonna get in Canada,
And,
it'll be
And Canada's
insane.
not a small market. Plus, all over America, man.
Yeah.
He beats the Celtics. Like,
If he plays well, the money comes back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I hope he realizes that because that means he's only got one option: play well.
Yeah.
If he pulls some shit where after the trade deadline he just suddenly pulls up with an ankle sprain that he
Yeah.
can't play, he's not. It's in trouble.
No, yeah. He's definitely ruining his bag. Like it's. It's just
If he
sad.
play-
Again, we've like harped on.
It's probably
it.
not even his fault.
Exactly, we've harped on about it for like a month, probably even more.
Yeah.
But it's like somehow the story keeps continuing and adding on and
the
stuff. where it's
plot
like,
keeps
you just-
thickening.
You just have to keep addressing it. Like now, it's just like, oh, now I want to transition, to a new team and stuff, and it's like,
Maybe they're trying the Trump method where you just stay in the news.
I guess, maybe.
But with
If
him,
you
it's
just-
like
like
with
the LeVar Ball, bad news is like good news. Like,
all
what-
publicity is good publicity,
Exactly,
but it's
yeah,
like
that's what I was trying to say. I don't
but
know
it's
what
like
else
when
I-
you're trying to be a marketable athlete, it's different to if you're trying to convince people to vote for you.
exactly, yeah.
So
Yeah. Talk about Trump though. Me and Ben, like Ruben or whatever, it was just like watching that whole compilation of the Rosie O'Donnell interview. I don't know why I had to mention it.
did
but
he
it's
do an
just-
interview with Rosie O'Donnell?
No, like when she's like,
Oh, did I tell you about the Rosie O'Donnell Brian Ortega thing?
wait, what?
So-
Wait,
Brian Ortega like posted something on Instagram. I'm sure you can find it.
yeah,
And so Brian Ortega, everyone knows it. Number one contender for the featherweight title in the UFC.
yeah,
He when he turned down the fight with Jeremy Stevens, which by the way, like Stevens lost today,
knocked out.
but it was
Bad.
no, it was a really good fight. I felt when I was watching it when it ended, I was like so disappointed because it was so good up until it happened.
I watched it like on the train here.
It was
Like,
unlucky.
good.
He just got caught with a good body shot and his liver shut down.
Yeah. Just
And I think
it was brutal TKO.
yeah, I think it was an early stoppage. I think Jeremy Stevens. I just wish they could have like kept that fight going because it was such a good fight.
Yeah.
Stevens and Aldo was like somehow like the way he stayed in there after Stevens started rocking him early was like
Yeah.
masterful. Just like freaking, it was
So, I mean,
insane.
And yeah, everyone forgets obviously Aldo's been scarred with the whole Conor McGregor situation, but realistically, in the past 10 years, he's only lost to two people: Max Holloway and Conor McGregor.
And the
which
Conor
is-
McGregor thing was a 6-second one
Exactly.
where he slipped over.
Exactly. So it's like,
That's what
I mean?
Daniel Cormier was saying. Like Holloway. No, sorry. He was saying Aldo isn't bad. Holloway is just ridiculous.
100%.
But what I was saying is Brian Ortega put out an
Yeah.
Instagram post after he turned down the fight saying, I am many things. I'm a warrior. I'm a soldier. All that. But I'm not a yes man. And he like wrote this thing as to why he didn't take the fight for the interim title.
Yeah.
And Rosie O'Donnell just in the first comment you see is, and you're devilishly handsome as well.
Oi,
I was like, oh, what?
sliding in.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Because you just see Rosie.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it. I was like, oh, it's probably some goddamn like dime piece Instagram model. Like
Yeah.
Brian Ortega probably plays. He probably bats high up in the order.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. It was Rosie O'Donnell, the Trump beef
The
person.
Trump beef.
I was like,
yeah.
what?
That's
What? Do they know
yeah,
each
I was
other?
gonna say,
What
like,
are you doing,
wait,
girl?
Rosie O'Donnell's a UFC fan, or like, how do you even come? Like, you have to be even like with the Explore page and everything on Instagram. You have to like be searching UFC related stuff to some degree.
Yeah.
Brian Ortega just.
Well, he's a
doesn't show up.
good-looking guy. Like you might see him and then just Google him. I can see a lot.
I
Of,
guess.
I can see
But,
him
like,
having a
how-
lot of
how- but,
female
like-
fans.
But like, how did she come? Like Rosie O'Donnell, how did you come across Brian Ortega?
Just
I don't know.
be discreet, girl, and slide in the
No,
DM.
Shoot your shot. Shoot
But
your
in
shot. I
the
respect
comments, when everyone can see you, where Donald Trump can
it. Shoot
see.
your shot. Shoot your shot. I don't know. I respect it.
I know, but it's
respect
like,
it.
isn't she like double his age? Like,
Maybe. I'm assuming that she probably has a family or something. I know she has kids. So
I don't know. I'm hoping they're family friends or something, because that's weird,
I don't
man.
know. That would be pretty insane. But yeah, bro.
It shook me. I was like, wait, really? Are you sure
Yeah.
she hasn't been hacked?
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell. That's hilarious. Just
Yeah, sliding to
in.
Brian Ortega's DM.
Sliding in there. First comment. Dude, well, not first comment, but
Where
probably,
is my phone?
probably like most popular comment. I don't know where your photo is, bro.
I literally
That
just
dude-
had it.
Oh, it's right there.
Where?
Right there.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that's like the biggest anxiety when you're looking for your phone. You're just like,
When you like feel
Yeah.
for it in your pocket, you realize it's in your hand.
yeah. There was like some joke. It's like, yeah, no one will ever feel how it feels like to lose your kid, and you're like, well, where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Yeah,
and it's
where's
just
my
like,
phone?
yeah, that's the biggest anxiety. Where like, dude, my phone's just lost, and it's like, God. And I hate the phone that like, not I hate my phone, but it's like it's all black as well. So if you lose it like in a dark spot, it could be game over for you.
It's over.
Like, yeah, it's one of those phones where it's like, it's God, it's completely
Brian
ridiculous.
T City. See, I'm gonna find it. But
T-City.
yeah, go on.
But yeah, Brian Ortega. That whole sort of fight card was pretty good. Poirier avenged. Avenged his loss. Did it go down to loss with that illegal?
I think it was a no contest.
So I guess he.
Same thing
Pro-
happened
pro-
today. Similar thing.
Yeah.
Poirier had two good guillotines in, and then like he was. I will say Poirier throughout everything. He looked so calm, like when he was on
Yeah.
the ground. I was like, really? He was in like he was in a couple of rear naked chokes, and he was just like chilling.
Yeah.
I was like, really? And then Eddie Alvarez got him up against a fence and was kind of on top of him, and he like did an elbow that went directly down.
Ooh.
So, but apparently you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I think it's called a 6 o'clock elbow.
Yeah, 12 to 6.
12 to 6.
I don't know why is that illegal.
I don't know. It's like
How does it hurt any
they
more than
talked
another
about it
elbow?
before. Like that's how John Jones only has one loss in his career, and that's a disqualification for doing a 12 to 6 elbow.
But why?
It's like I think it's basically they're saying the way this like this is like all back in the day. Like even like punching the back of the head, like it's all not a myth, but like you know it's just like it's combat sports. What do you expect?
Probably because if you're doing it 12 to 6 elbow, you got so much power because your whole lat's
That's what I
pulling
mean.
down. It's probably
And,
very
like,
dangerous.
Obviously, you're hitting like the sort of
Oh.
you're literally hitting like the so you're getting like the septum or like the septum nose area and all that stuff. So it's just like it's pretty dangerous, I guess.
Oh,
so.
to go down on the nose.
Exactly. So, like you could just practice like the whole
Oh, yeah.
in between. I don't know what the area in between your eyebrows and stuff.
I can
is,
see why, yeah. But it didn't even hit Poirier. It hit like the edge of his AC joint.
Yeah.
And then the ref stood him up and Poirier after they got stood up and Alvarez had good position.
Yeah.
Poirier just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It was like deadly. Like Alvarez just literally like after the last elbow, he just like he was like one of those inflatable like car sales things.
Oh, yeah.
And someone
yeah,
just taken the gas out of it. And he he just fell to the floor.
Jesus. I guess
Good fight.
I guess it's saying for Alvarez though.
Yeah.
He fought out the last fight in this contract, so we'll see what happens.
They both look
but
good
then like
though.
he can't. But it's funny because he can't go to Bellator, so.
Yeah,
Because he had the whole situation Bellator in his contract where he got sued. I think he had to pay like $200K plus or whatever to
Yeah, that's the
buy
thing.
his
Like,
contract.
why is he being a free agent? It's not like he can go anywhere else.
I guess I could see maybe he's trying to leverage it to the UFC where it's like, look, if he beats Poirier, he's probably like a top 3 contender maybe. So
yeah,
it's
well,
like,
he
look,
would be the number 3 ranked contender.
Exactly. So he would have just been like, yeah, look, I'm the top 3 contender. You need me. You don't want to lose me like Roy McDonald or Gegard Mousasi or stuff like that who they've
They
lost.
can call his bluff.
Exactly, yeah. And like we said, you left Bellator. You're not gonna crawl back to Bellator again.
Yeah.
You just look like a loser, man. Like there's no other promotions around. Like, yeah, there's literally no other
If
promotion.
they could take him back if they were smart, but you know they probably don't want to get in a bidding war with the UFC over him.
Maybe. Nah, Alvarez would probably go to like what's that fight league in Asia? I forgot what it's called now, but
Oh
the
yeah.
one that like Ben Askren and stuff fought. It's like just some fight league where they pay all their fighters a bunch of money because it's just like there's so much money in Asia.
Oh really?
And he could just go there, sort of like the Chinese basketball.
Oh,
league,
just
you know?
make a few bucks.
Exactly, the Chinese basketball league, like you know.
Is that the one where they fight in a ring, a boxing ring?
I think so. I'm not actually no. I don't think so.
Oh.
I think it's like in a cage, but it's not like it. I think it might just be like a circle, not like an octagon or,
Oh,
an
yeah.
octagon or whatever. But yeah, definitely in the cage. Sort
Yo,
of
Ben
situation.
Askren got screwed by Dana White.
Yeah, well, a lot of people sort of get screwed by Dana White.
Yeah,
Dana
a
White's
lot of people.
Dana White's just I guess he just needs, in my opinion, just not retire, but just like sort of just
He needs Conor
slowly
back.
just step away. Like
He needs Conor back.
I think he's just lost his vibe.
Someone was saying Chael Sonnen should take over.
Maybe. Nah, actually, no. Not Chelsea, no.
Why? He's so good, dude.
Nah, it's just like he's personality-wise, obviously, he's like just a supreme
A
personality.
supreme promoter.
But he's good in the media, like with Ara Hawani and stuff. Like they had that show.
Yeah, he's good.
The MMA guy. Was it MMA and the Bad Guy or something? I don't know. Whatever it is. Forgot what it's
Ariel
called.
and the bad guy.
Ariel and the Bad Guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad show, but yeah, I think they would need to get. See, that's the thing as well. Like Dana White's the only one that knows how to do it.
What do you
Like-
mean knows how to do it?
Like he knows
how to
the fight-
control
like-
the fighters.
like the fight game, like managing fighters and stuff like that. It's just like, you know, he always says it like you can't get a university degree on how to do this type of stuff.
how to
and,
manage
like,
fighters.
how to manage fighters. Because look what happened. Like they had, I guess Dana
To be
White.
fair though, he hasn't really managed fighters that well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like back in the day, like when he grew the sport for what?
Oh yeah, he
when
did.
he grew the sport from 0 to
Yeah.
$5 billion, whatever. He was the king, and then literally,
Yeah.
as soon as they sold it, then he goes to a media entity in WME, William Morris Enterprises, I think. They buy it, and now they're looking at it in a media perspective or a money making perspective, than rather.
Yeah,
growing
that's the
sport.
thing.
They're-
Yeah,
rather than like a sport, they're looking at the WWE event rather than like a
Yeah.
football event or whatever.
well,
And
that's a problem.
Yeah, so I think
Because it was growing. The problem was it was growing
The
so
fastest-
rapidly
the
as a
fastest-
fighting
exactly
thing.
the fastest growing sport in the world.
As
It was
a fighting league,
Yeah.
they really dropped the ball on it. I think it's a really because it's the Fertitta brothers or whatever. Now they got that money, they just
Yeah,
rode off into the
exactly.
sunset.
And I think it's because, they have like the same template as like the NBA, where it's like the league's based on the players, right? So like the UFC's based on the fighters and their personalities. Like that's what's gonna make it shine. So that's why Conor McGregor's, your Daniel Cormier's and stuff like that are always gonna have to shine. Much like in in basketball, like LeBron James or like maybe not even LeBron, something like Donovan Mitchell's like a star. Like all these star power type of guys are like just
I know, but the difference in the NBA is the NBA pays their stars.
I guess.
Conor McGregor, if they had not been so cheap, would have fought at least once since the
Yeah.
Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
He wanted to fight at UFC 226,
Yeah.
and he was gonna fight at UFC 225.
Yeah.
But the UFC just didn't have enough to pay him.
Yeah. It's getting.
Nick and Nate Diaz are probably two of the top 5 stars.
Yeah.
Like,
They-
pay them.
They definitely need to get more people in there and stuff. And I think, but then it's like now they're sort of fractioning relationships with the fighters. Like you see, like Brian Ortega, it's sort of like obviously he says that
Yeah.
him and Dana White are cool and stuff, but like that's sort of gonna get fractured. Who knows how Cobra?
Well, apparently what happened was they rocked up to their meeting,
Yeah.
Brian Ortega, and it was just Dana White, and then Brian Ortega walks in with like him and like 3 Gracie brothers. And apparently, like, Dana White was a little uncomfortable being in the room
really
with apparently they were just kind of like Brian Ortega, I think, was saying that they could all tell that Dana White was not comfortable being sort of punked like that, and that's why he got on the front foot.
I could really see
Because
that.
it was just like, what are you gonna do? You got 4 like Gracie, 4 of the most deadly jiu-jitsu people in the world. It's probably not the most sort of civilized thing to bring them to a meeting.
Yeah. It's like all 4 of these guys are my agents. All right.
Yeah.
Mate, sure, mate. Sure,
He just like rocked up with his crew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he tried to goon it up against Dana White, but like the whole
He needs Conor back.
100%. Well, it looks like Conor's gonna fight. He like his case got thrown out or whatever. Did it get?
He
thrown?
didn't even get a criminal record, which
Yeah.
I think is a little fucked up.
Yeah, it
Let's
is
be real.
pretty messed.
If you got like, I'm okay with him not going to jail, but a criminal, you fucking. This isn't his first time he's done something like this
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
And he I'm a big fan of him, but you should at least get a criminal record for throwing a trolley at a glass window
And, like,
with people inside.
Yeah, and they get like for even further measure, he injured glass.
He injured
shards,
people.
Glass shards went into Michael Chies's eye,
And Ray Borg.
and he couldn't fight.
Yeah.
They couldn't fight. They lost.
He should get sued a lot of money.
That was like $250,000 that they probably lost together. I guess maybe.
Yeah,
Cumulative.
he needs to be sued a lot of money for that.
The females on that boss were really shook up as well.
Yeah.
And then it's like damages, punitive damages, what it did for the brand.
I guess. Well, the thing is, I guess what the court was taking into account is like he's gonna get sued a bunch of money for this. That'll probably be punishment enough.
I guess.
Because what the court also is going to take into account is all the publicity. He got a lot of positive publicity from that stunt. Like he probably made himself. Throwing that brought him a lot of leverage to negotiate the Khabib fight.
Yeah,
because be like, look at all the hype I'm bringing.
Well, yeah, 100%. They're gonna be putting those clips up in like the trailers
So-
and all that stuff. So
Surely the court is going to say, look, you're actually we gotta you're making money off this.
100%.
You can't escape. So hopefully the court then makes him pay out a lot of money because you can't have him profiting off this with
Yeah.
no criminal record. And at the very least, like obviously we all know why they didn't give him a criminal record
yeah,
because New York wants him to fight there
yeah,
because
yeah.
they know he brings a lot of money there.
Definitely some
They didn't,
under the table,
Yeah.
bag type stuff happening.
but like no criminal record.
Nah.
He needs to pay in the civil court, or else he'll make money off this. And you
Yeah.
can't make money for almost killing people.
Exactly, and then this sort of just puts this as a standard now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially for people like
If you're rich and famous. All right,
like-
Kevin Durant can just do it now.
exactly, yeah, like who yeah, exactly, like someone like Carmelo Anthony could get pissed at MSG and just like start going
Yeah.
crazy or whatever, and it's like, well, he technically didn't. They'll be like, well, he didn't damage anyone's eyes. He just did.
Yeah,
He
it's
just-
like It's not a good thing. No criminal record.
Yeah.
Kids get criminal records for dumb shit. You get a criminal record for something you did when you were 14, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I know in America for sure, kids get criminal records and get their lives ruined for beating up a kid when they're 16.
Exactly.
How can they get a criminal record and Conor McGregor bring a private jet load of people, almost kill people, and not get a criminal record?
Yeah, exactly.
How is that
people in
fair?
America getting, like, they could be first-time offenders selling
Kids,
selling weed or something.
15-year-old kids.
And then, like, boom, their whole careers and their whole lives is, like, you know, essentially ruined or
Like,
whatever.
that's a whole other issue in itself. But
Yeah.
it's like, the fact you have that and then you can contrast it to that, like, what does that say about a rich white guy getting away with that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, like I said, it's going to put, like, this sort of precedence where it's like, now it's going to be way too much sort of...
He has to pay in the criminal court. He has to pay in the
it-
criminal
it-
court.
Yeah, it's not over yet. I think, again, like we mentioned, brown paper bag type deals. They know that they're gonna make some dollars off this.
Well, yeah, and this is a big thing for Conor. Like, he has this is a huge mistake. Like,
Yeah.
and he got lucky. He could have easily that thing could have gone through there and took someone's that. The bottom of that dolly had a sharp edge. He could have chopped someone's head off with that shit.
Yeah,
He got lucky.
he got really, really lucky. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
In saying that, though, I am really happy that he's
Yeah.
free to fight.
It's gonna sound like, yeah, like he could go to get criminal charges that could put him, you know, in fear of not being able to work in America. But could be.
I think it's really unfair that he didn't get a criminal record. I'm also kind of happy that he's allowed to work in the United States.
I feel like that's probably what happened. And like when they're discussing it, they're just like, yeah, you know, all the stuff that happened. You know, he threw a dolly. You know, damaged people's eyes and stuff like that. But
He is one of the greatest entertainers on earth.
Yeah, 70. Like, you know, all this money he's making, he's gonna make a lot of money for the economy here. I think there's only one way to do this, and then boom, they just let him free. I think.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what they did. They just went, look, he makes us money. He'll make a bunch of money for himself, and then he can pay a bunch of that to the people he harmed, and we're all sweet.
Exactly. So.
But they'll look like idiots if he ends up like taking one fight with Khabib and then not fighting again.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know. That'll be such a. It's funny because that'll be such a simple fight, but so like fascinating at the same time. It's like. Literally can go one or two ways. Like Khabib will kill him, or Conor will knock him out in one punch.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like it's the bona fide. It's like going back to what the UFC originally was, which
style versus style.
Styles versus style. You know, stand up versus ground. So it's like, you know, it's that whole dynamic. Like, well, you know, what happens when he's going to take him to the ground? Oh, but all fights start standing up. So, you know, how's Khabib going to handle the first minute?
But if Khabib does take him to the ground, it's over.
It will be torture. It would be legitimate torture.
Yeah.
Like,
you know.
drag him out to deep waters.
I also think it's kind of unfair. Like, when a guy like Conor fights so entertaining, like, in such an entertaining fashion, and then a wrestler just comes out and just, like, ruins it. Like,
well, that's why he was always getting sort of favorable matchup. Like,
yeah, because you make use of your entertaining guys.
Exactly. The only grand fighter he ever fought was Chad Mendes, and that's because he was a last minute replacement.
And Chad Mendes isn't even like just a ground guy.
Exactly, yeah, and like, yeah, like, exactly. You know what I mean? Like he's a multifaceted fighter as well. So it's like Khabib's just one way only.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, he'll get smacked if he stands up, but I reckon he'll hate Khabib. He'll hate Conor so much, he's taking him down.
Yeah, it will be good.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be very, very interesting.
Either way, both fighters better make a ton of money because one of them are going to look silly afterwards.
Yeah.
Either Conor's going to be embarrassed for 25 minutes, or Khabib's whole like impenetrable like sort of persona is going to be cut down.
Literally that would end someone's career.
It's
a career ender.
If Khabib gets slept, because Khabib's never really stood up with anyone. If Khabib gets slept by Conor,
and like the only time we ever really saw him stand up was when he versed Michael Johnson, and like Michael Johnson tagged him a bit, and you're like,
same with the Quinta.
Oh, what's happening here? Yeah, Ally Quinta, all that. Yeah,
who trained for a fight 2 rounds shorter.
Exactly.
So it's like. What they were saying in the Quinta fight is Quinta was deliberately letting Khabib punch him in the face so that Khabib would think that standing up was working.
Yeah.
And then he would just hit him with the counter. So if Quinta does that, what's the best counter strike in the world going to do?
Exactly. But I don't know. I feel like Khabib's probably smart enough. I think Khabib's just Like I said, drag him out to the deep end.
He does train with.
Let him try and tread water for 25 minutes. See how it is.
Yeah, he does train with Rockhold and DC.
DC, yeah. DC just absolutely just mog Gustafsson.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I like love what you did for me like in 2015 and stuff, but I just don't understand you. You'll never fight me again. I don't appreciate you and what you're doing right now. And you're like, calm down, bro. He wants to fight you. Like you don't have to like
Yeah.
this guy's character or integrity or whatever. But I guess I don't know. It's just what it is, sort of thing. But hopefully the UFC looking more promising.
It is.
By the way,
One thing I want to say that's looking more promising is the Lakers. Look, people think that these 1-year deals are bad.
yeah,
They're good.
well,
They're expiring contracts.
they're the perfect deals for trade assets. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like parlay a Brandon Ingram with a Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee expiring contract. Boom, you take on that $8 million on the cap. Boom,
You have Kawhi Leonard.
exactly at the end of the season, $8 million gone. You have more money to spend. So yeah, it definitely it works out either way because even if it does not go to plan by the end of by this season or whatever, they could just reload and like I said, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Kawhi, Kyrie. DeMarcus Cousins got a re-up. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many options.
I guess that's the only problem is, like, you got so many guys with 1-year deals. They probably want to show people what they can do.
Exactly. Well, that's a good... Well, I guess that's a good thing and a bad thing. Because at least
Yeah,
they're going to be desperate because they want to get their next contract.
But that's the thing. It's like, everyone knows it's all about LeBron and the young stars.
Yeah.
When you got guys like KCP playing, got guys like Beasley playing, they want to show off and show what they can do.
Yeah,
when really they're just there to fill out the bench.
But they will definitely fall in line there because
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron and like you don't want that bad media you know what I mean? Like
True.
saying that like
Isaiah Thomas got.
He's a bad influence in the exactly like bad influence in the locker room, or he's fighting with his teammates, turmoil. He doesn't show up to training, all that stuff.
What was I gonna say? They have an all-star meme team though.
Yeah. Oh.
JaVale, Lance, Beasley, Rondo.
Yeah,
it's the all-star meme team.
Yeah, and that could be like the legitimate second unit. Imagine like that being the second unit would be. Oh, it's just gonna be a great season. It would be a great season for the Lakers either way.
Yeah.
It would be insane, but
also another thing, like speaking of the Lakers, like across, their rival the Celtics is, I heard on Bill Simmons. What do you think? Like, everyone forgot about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was like just as good, if not better, than Tatum in a lot of parts last year.
He was really, really good.
People just kind of forgot about him.
I think it's because in the playoffs he played solid, but not like amazing. Like Tatum was averaging like 20 plus on the regular. I think Brown was sort of carrying the defensive load.
Exactly. Yeah, Brown's a beast.
He's a beast, and I think the good thing about him is that like he can transition between like shooting guards, small forward, and even power forward to some degree. So like he's got a lot of flexibility and stuff. But definitely the Celtics team's gonna look nasty. Like there was like video of Gordon Hayward just shooting the lights out.
What about the videos of Markelle Fultz?
Yeah,
dude, his handle's insane.
Markelle Fultz, man.
I reckon his shot is back. He's been working also with Drew Hanlon. Drew
Hanlon's like just got the amount of money this guy's just making.
Well, you know how he started?
How?
Well, like I think
is he a YouTube?
Jason Tatum. He's been teaching since Jason Tatum was 13.
Really?
So I think a lot of these coaches, they start with young guys like in high school, and they kind of invest in them. So then when they get in the NBA, they stay with them.
Yeah, because Drew Hanlon has like Embiid and Mo Bamba, and obviously Fultz.
Yeah.
So yeah, jeez, that's a good catalog or good resume to have. But yeah, most definitely like. The Celtics are going to be an absolute problem. Like Jason Tatum, you can only assume is going to go up. Jaylen Brown, you can only assume is going to go up. Gordon Hayward's going to go up because it's better than zero. Like he's going to be, he's going to he's going to contribute.
But same with the Sixers, man. Simmons will get a jump shot. I hope. And Fultz, they didn't have Fultz last year.
Yeah. And,
if Fultz has his jump shot with that handle, he's like. Obviously, I reckon a lot of that stuff talked about him was hype, but he's still a number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, I feel like Is it just me, or it's these training videos and these NBA players training with these professional personal trainers or basketball coaches and stuff? Is this like the new high school mixtape? Like, is this like a mirage? Like we're showing like this, showing like all these great clips. We're seeing
they definitely
in and out, boom, hezzy, dunk, all that stuff, and it's just like, God, he better.
Well, the one
good.
thing is they've kept his jump shot secret. They haven't released any footage of his jump shot,
which could be a good thing or.
I don't know. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure Drew Hanlon's got it sorted out.
Someone needs to get a jump shot on that team. Someone just needs to have a jump
Yeah, well, if he can start... Embiid's good.
Yeah, but you gotta get...
If they can get... If Fultz can become a legit bomber, that changes everything.
Well, they're risking everything on Fultz, though, I guess. Like, because they could have easily traded Fultz to get, like, a more bona fide, piece or whatever. Because I think Fultz was still... I think he had a lot of trade value.
Teams didn't want him, though, because everything was so secretive.
Yeah. So, who knows what's going to happen, with Fultz. Quick shout out to Jonah Bolden as well, who got signed to 76ers.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Another Sydney Aussie guy, so...
He from Sydney? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he played with someone that...
yeah, apparently he's best friends with the guy I went to school with.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, shouts out to him, man. It's good to see him in the league, finally, man, because... he was like in a really...
He's a big fella.
His trajectory was really weird. Like, a lot of people don't know. Like, he went to UCLA. He was playing for UCLA, and he was there for like 2 years or whatever, and he just never got game time. So he was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go to Europe. And then literally 1 year in Europe, everyone was like, whoa, who is this guy? And it's like, oh, this guy was on UCLA, but they just never did anything with him. So look at him now in Europe, and then. He stayed an extra
7-foot shooter with athleticism.
Exactly. Stayed an extra year in Europe.
Philly also have that other European guy.
Oh, the...
Like, F something, Kirkus something.
Furkan Korkmaz.
Yeah, Furkan.
The one that dropped 40
yeah, man, he's good.
Just dropped a quick 40. Just a quick 40.
The new Kyle Kuzma.
Exactly. Who knows? He could be. But it would be pretty interesting. Actually, dude, talking about Jason Tatum, though, in the training and stuff, Kobe Bryant training with Jason Tatum now.
That's the thing. That's
Jason Tatum.
That's what I was saying. Like Jaylen Brown was doing all that work on defense, and then he's really good as well. And then everyone just forgot about him.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh yeah, like Tatum's a star wing. Like if they have to lose one of them has to go to the bench. It's gonna be Brown. Like really, like are you guys just all gonna? Because Brad Stevens won't forget about it, but everyone else is just forgetting about all the defense, all the hustle, all the athleticism he brought. Everyone's just forgetting about it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't forget the fact that he
definitely have some appreciation later on.
Oh yeah, but don't forget about the fact that also he wasn't a shooter at all when he came out of college, and now he's a legit spot up shooter.
Yeah, like we shouldn't forget. Like in that draft, he was a head scratching pick.
Yeah,
like he wasn't the third pick. Like he wasn't like Ingram or Simmons, who was they're gonna be the top two. Number 3 was like I don't know, just.
Was literally like there were reports saying you may as well have 1 or 2 or none. Like
exactly.
There's no point in having 3.
And now Jaylen Brown at least is probably having he's had a better career than Brandon Ingram in my opinion. So
and Ben Simmons arguably.
I guess Ben Simmons did have a spectacular 1 year situation. So
yeah, but like how many threes did he hit in the playoffs? I'm just saying, like Brown is really good. He's helped 2 big playoff runs.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people forget, like we love Simmons. Aussie and all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah,
just swerved. He was actually at a club in Melbourne. Swerved everyone. It was disrespectful.
Really? When was he in Melbourne?
Probably like a month ago or something.
Oh really? How do you know he swerved? Like explain what happened.
Because there was like a bunch of people. Because he was at like Melbourne club by himself, like in the VIP section.
By himself?
Yeah, I was just by himself. I think he just went there for the appearance, be like, "Yo, what's up? This is my hometown." All that, you know what I mean?
Like, I get some Instagram
trying to be one with the people.
Yeah.
It was just like in the VIP section, just standing there, obviously probably texting Kendall Jenner or whatever. We don't know what he's doing. Probably in his bag, in the DMs and all that. But yeah, everyone was like, yeah, Ben, yeah, Simmons. And then like, he was like, I think he was walking out or something. I think he might have been going home or going to some other party or whatever. But like, everyone was just trying to get a picture of him. It was just like, nah, man, I don't do that. Nah. Just shrugged everyone off. And it's like, I guess the situation.
He's such a big star,
yeah,
though.
Maybe the situation's like, yeah, I guess, but it's like, right, it's your hometown. Like, how often are you in Melbourne?
Yeah, show some love to the people.
People are just trying to show you love. Folks are just trying to get in with you. It's like,
but he's tough. Like, he is such a huge star. Like, he's easily Australia's like right now biggest new star. Like,
Exactly.
huge. Like maybe people in
Massive.
Australia don't know him, but anyone who knows anything about America knows him. Like he's
Massive.
dating a Kardashian for God's sakes. Like he's super famous.
He is like elite level.
Like,
He
they groom you for fame, but
Yeah.
this is another level. This is like he's like one of the most famous. Under 30s, he's probably top 5 in the world.
and the thing is like, he's not trying. He's not trying to be famous. Like
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's out in these streets trying to be famous.
Yeah.
Going on your ESPNs, your Fox Sports. He's in the SBs. He's trying to wear the flashy clothes and all that. Ben Simmons keeps himself. Doesn't really say much at all.
Like he shows off on Instagram, and that's really it.
Yeah, he flexes. He's got good fashion sense, and all that stuff.
He just lives his life.
Yeah, he's in models' comments and all that stuff. So he's doing. He's
He
doing what
seems
he's
like
doing,
just
but-
a chill guy who minds his own business.
Exactly, but it's like there's such an. That's why like you just know he's gonna be a big star. There's like this aura around him where it's just like there's just something special about him. There's some type of just.
There is. He's not. He's a very unflappable.
Exactly.
Nothing bothers him.
Exactly.
He's
It's just-
very, very calm. And that's probably what it is. He's just like, nah, I just want to do my thing.
Yeah, like literally, there was like one where she's like, "Yeah, Ben, can I get a picture?" And he goes, "Look, literally, he stops, turns, no, and then just like keeps walking, just goes, no, and bounces." Bro.
Yeah, but I think that's just who he is. He's just
yeah,
he probably just doesn't want that stuff.
exactly. But yeah,
He probably literally only cares about basketball, money, and girls. It's literally all he probably cares about.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
his family, maybe.
I was gonna include family.
Yeah, but you know,
Include
like
fans.
he's probably just who he is.
Yeah,
It'd be worse if a guy like Donovan Mitchell was out there like trying to get fame, and then when people got photos with him, was like, nah.
yeah,
Which to Donovan Mitchell's credit is he's actually really good with them.
exactly. Yeah,
But it's like if you are going to be a dick to fans, at least be like Ben Simmons and don't ask for fans.
keep the same energy.
Yeah, keep the same energy is what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't look on these cameras and try and look like you're someone that's all about everyone. You know.
But if
like-
you want to look for like a real Australian guy in the NBA, like Dante Exum was in the crowd at an AFL game.
yeah, Dante.
Just with his buddies.
Yeah, we're eating a 4-20 and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. This
he's-
man,
he's a legit Aussie guy
He's legit. This is
who just has a $45 million Australian contract.
yeah. Now it's just
He just
he's
makes
loving
more money
life.
in a year than probably everyone in that level combined.
He like
But
plays like 80 games in 3 seasons. Still makes $40 million. Just quick money for him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I hope he does well. Dante
Oh,
Exum
dude,
seems
I
like a
hope-
really nice guy.
and like just talking from like a basketball sense as well. Him and Donovan Mitchell as a potential starting backcourt is
It's
pretty
perfect.
insane. Like
If he can learn to shoot, you have a defensive guy
He
and
can
an
shoot a
offensive
little
guy.
bit, yeah. And it's like interchangeable as well because there used to be like this stigma where it's like if you're a combo guard, then that's the worst position to be. Like you
Yeah.
either want to be a point guard or a shooting guard. But then as you sort of come to know, it's like being a combo guard is arguably one of the best positions
Yeah.
that you can have that fluidity and that synergy between the two positions.
Add
And-
Grayson Allen in.
exactly,
It's
Grayson
a
Allen.
beast small ball
Do they
lineup.
still have Rubio?
Yeah, but he's only got 1 year left.
Yeah, so I guess Rubio, you just chuck him in there. Alec Burks, they still have.
Oh yeah, Burks.
Burks,
Yeah,
decent. So yeah, they got a good squad.
they've got a squad. Yeah,
and
and
Utah-
Dante's tall enough to play 3.
yeah, and like we saw what he did in the what was that series? The
Rockets series.
The Rockets series, where he's just
He shut Harden down, and for the rest of the series, they just pick and roll to make sure he couldn't defend him.
exactly. So yeah, he's got a lot of great potential. It's good to see.
And he just seems like a nice guy. Like he seems like if you're looking for I love Ben Simmons, but if you're looking for a basketballer from Australia who actually embodies just being a 22-year-old Australian, Dante Exum's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Ben Simmons is like what all the girls want, and then Dante Exum is what all the girls' parents want. They're
Yeah.
like, this is the guy we want you with, but then the girls are like, nah, I want Ben Simmons or whatever.
Yeah, but
He's literally that type of dude.
Dante's a legit Australian guy.
Yeah, legit. Well, he lived here his whole life.
He's
Besides-
legit. Yeah, Simmons
he's
is kind of
legitimately
American.
Austra-
Yeah.
well, he's legitimately Australian in the sense that he lived in Australia his whole life.
Mm.
Ben Simmons, which I don't. How do you like? Is it that easy to pick up an accent? Because he was. I'm pretty sure he's living.
Well,
in
his dad, I'm sure, had a thick American
Definitely,
accent as well, so
definitely,
that's what
that's true.
influenced it.
I guess true. Yeah.
Well, like Kyrie Irving sounds very Australian.
he definitely doesn't sound like
He doesn't. He sounds more Australian. If
Not
you saw
fully
him
American.
and Ben Simmons talking,
yeah.
maybe Ben Simmons is like that calm aspect of him. You'd be like, oh, yeah, he seems like Australian.
Yeah.
The way he's like the deepness of his voice, but you'd think Kyrie was just as Australian. Like he's really Australian. Like,
Yeah.
the way he talks, the way he acts.
Yeah. That being said, though, Simmons does have like his vocabulary is still very Australian in some respects.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think it was like I forgot who was clowning him, but like some guy was clowning him on his Instagram, like one of his teammates, because he goes like, "Hey, yo, Simmons, how do you say how do you say pass?" And he's like, "Pass,
Yeah.
pass." And
Yeah,
he's
so he
like,
passed the ball.
Yeah, pass, and he's just like, "No, it's pass."
Uh,
Like, it's not pass.
yeah, he's legit Australian,
Yeah.
but he's just not as Dante. Like,
Yeah, definitely not as Australian. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
but I mean, that's what happens when you're dating. Dante's not dating one of the most famous family members in the world.
I reckon. God. Not much news about that though. Surprisingly, I thought there would be more.
Well, I thought she hooked up with Gigi Hadid's brother while they were together. But
Wait, whoa.
there's photos of her hooking up with like her friend's brother whilst they were supposed to be dating. So I don't know what happened with that.
Fair enough.
Maybe that was like before. So
Yeah.
like, it just came out at a bad time.
Just surface at the inconvenient.
Oh, like paparazzi definitely do that. They definitely take photos and save them for a time,
sometimes.
an inconvenient time, then release them.
I was actually there's like this cool. I was like watching some video about paparazzi. It's like it's a pretty insane lifestyle though. Like they're literally like they take the photo, they take like 50 photos, and then they jump into the car, and this car's just hooked up with like the most insane Wi-Fi or whatever. Like it's just fully decked, have all these charging ports and stuff to charge all your cameras, and basically like you have to be like the first ones to like. I think it's, like,
Upload it.
Yeah, there's like some distributing companies or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, you got to be the first one, and like depending on how early you do, it's going to depend how much money you get. So it could be like if you lodge in the first photo of let's say Kendall Jenner and Ben Simmons together, that could be like $1,000, and then the more pictures that surface will be like 500, then 100, then 50, then 10, then 5, then 2, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like it was a pretty interesting to watch, and then but yeah, no, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It sucks for Kanye West's like newest daughter. Like, have you seen the video of like Northwest or Shy West or whatever walking out being like no photos? Like
What,
that's
she,
pretty
is
sad.
that what she was saying?
The kid, she's just trying to get in the car with her mom,
Really?
and she's having to say no photos.
The kid is saying
The
no
kid, like,
photo.
that's pretty sad.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. there was like some video or whatever, and I forgot who the celebrity was, but like the paparazzi taking all the pictures and stuff, and then like they finish, and then he was just like, "Oh yeah, can I take a picture of you guys?" And then one of the paparazzi goes, yeah, no, I wouldn't like that, sorry," and then just walks away, and it's like, what's this irony, bro? Like. It's like, oh, you're infringing on my privacy. I would not like that, and just walks away. So it's like,
Yeah,
paparazzi have like all the control in some
crazy.
respect, but yeah, it's pretty insane.
doesn't that say so much about us as a society that we're so obsessed with these people that there are jobs where people make good bank, basically stalking them?
Super good bank, yeah. Like I get like that video I was watching. This guy was like doing like photography. They was like becoming photographer at like NYU or something, like one of the elite universities for that type of industry, and it was like, oh no, I'm gonna drop out and become a paparazzi because there's so much money in it. It's ridiculous. And like magazines, newspapers, online articles. It's pretty insane.
And it's only getting bigger.
It's only getting bigger. Like, and like it's probably like people like me that like I'm infatuated with like the whole type of scene or whatever. Like I'm like the one going, oh my god, Hailey Baldwin and Justin Bieber's engaged. Oh my god.
If I see a photo on Instagram, I'm like, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
But I could live without it.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. I definitely could have lived without knowing that Hailey Baldwin's taken. Like I could have, had that in my soul. Knowing
You
that
could have had that hope.
exactly like that she was an option in my future. Like
That's actually a really nice story, though, because apparently they met when they were kids.
no way, seriously.
So like they met, like they were kind of friends when they were kids for a little bit, because
Like
they were both like pimped out child stars, obviously.
Oh, okay. When I thought kid, I thought like 8 years old or something. I was like,
No, when they were like, yeah, when Justin Bieber was just getting
so
famous.
he would have been like 13. 14.
How old? Yeah, was he like 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they met when they were that. So that's actually a nice story for them.
That's good then. That's good. It was pretty random. Well, I don't know. To me, it's probably pretty random because it's just like came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they'll like that. It's like I thought Shawn Mendes was in the bag. That's what I thought. I thought Shawn Mendes was like that was the situation, but
Oh well.
Shawn Mendes, mate. Sorry, dude. First you lose Camila Cabello, now you lose Hailey Baldwin. My man's just not on a good streak. He's just not on a good streak.
Maybe he's just not into them.
Potentially, I don't know. But to me, it just looks like, bro, you just lost 2 chicks.
Yeah, I don't think guys who look like that and sing like that lose too many chicks, Jordan.
That's true.
All right, let's be completely real.
Talk about if anyone's DMs blowing up, it would be him.
It's Shawn Mendes,
So
alright,
much.
and well deservedly.
Well deserved.
He's the new Adam Levine.
Yeah, he is actually. Yeah, he is.
Very
Adam
similar.
Levine. Yeah, very, very similar. He's like super. He's like tall as well. Like,
He's a big fella.
he's a big dude. Yeah, another Canadian as well. Canadians are taking over the world.
You know, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, Drake, Biebs.
Yeah, Drake. And Drake's legit Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's like not
they're
like
all
a...
they're all legit Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you're unlegit Canadian.
Well, like, what's a good example? Well, kind of like Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Like the difference between Dante Exum and Ben Simmons. Like, he's like Ben Simmons is Australian, but it's like, or even Kyrie Irving and Dante Exum.
Yeah.
It's like, is Drake actually Canadian, or is he just born there for a year?
Oh, okay, yeah, I see your point.
Is he actually born and raised in Toronto?
I think he's born.
Okay,
raised,
yeah.
Like, he's from Brampton and all that stuff. He's like from like
Whatever that is.
the hood. I think it's like their hood. I think
Really? That's
Yeah.
how he got into the Disney show.
Brampton. I don't know. I don't know how it was. I think someone was like they went to his house and it was like in one of the more affluent areas in Toronto or whatever. So I don't know if he is really from
No
the
one
hood.
knows, yeah.
He tries to act a bit hard, but you know it's just who he is. I guess I don't know.
There's not a lot of people know about that guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just he released his album and it was cool.
I liked it. It was good.
It was good. I don't know, for someone like me, because I go deep into music, I could just tell that when Pusha T dissed him, it did, struck a chord with him. Because then he had to keep mentioning his child, he had to keep mentioning, like, the baby mom, and you're like, alright, we get it, bro. We get it now.
I like that part about, in Emotionless, about Rome. How the girl goes to Rome and all she does is post photos for people at home.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah,
Mate, you open your Instagram now, you see tons of people who just like are there and they're just taking photos for other people.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. Or like people like they just stockpile their photos, so it's just like
Yeah.
it looks like they're continuously on this 6-month holiday, but they're only there for like a week and they're just posting picture after picture. But I don't think it's that big of a problem. But
I know. I reckon if you go somewhere, you want to keep it a mystery.
yeah,
You don't put it all over social media because then when you meet someone, they're like they know where you've been. It's like otherwise it's like a complete mystery. And you have something to talk about.
yeah,
It's weird. Have you ever done that when you've met someone and you've like maybe you follow someone you don't really know on social media and then you meet them and you know so much about them? It's kind of creepy.
It's sort of like
Even if you don't follow them, they just come on your
wouldn't
up on your
it- I
Explorer
guess-
page.
Yeah, not even like Instagram. Like when you're meeting someone else's like if you're meeting someone else's friend and your friend's telling them a lot about them.
Yeah.
You already know them sort of, and then you meet them and you're not gonna sort of be like just mention everything they told you, like, oh, so I
You have
heard
to
do-
pretend you don't know.
you like obviously like, okay, I know what he does for uni, I know where he went to school, whatever, and then now you just be like, hey, yeah, so what do you do for uni? Even though you know what
You
the
know.
answer is, like, oh wow.
And you have to you have to try not to be like, oh yeah, I was told that. Oh wait, no, like you can't do that.
Yeah. Like,
Or if they'd be
I
like-
went to that high
You'd
school.
be like, oh, have you
wow.
traveled recently? And they go, oh yeah, I went to this place, and you can't then accidentally go, oh yeah, I saw that. Oh wait, shit. Like you
Yeah.
have to be like, oh really? I didn't know.
Yeah, again, back to Instagram, like, let's say you went on holidays or whatever, and then I saw the picture, and then I saw you, and I'd be like, yeah, so went in any places recently? Like, oh, yeah, I went here. I was like, oh, I had no idea. Jeez, when did
Yeah.
you go there? Even though I'm like just like furiously stalking you.
Yeah.
Going, oh, where
You
have
like
been
liked
going?
the photo.
Yeah, liked the photo, commented as well, being like, oh, dope, dude. But yeah, it is
It's a
pretty
weird line.
It is pretty funny, but dude, I feel like Instagram's like the new thing though. Like it's weird because I was like I'm like always on Instagram. And I'm like refreshing stuff, and there was like some one video. I think it might have been like Kendall, Kylie Jenner, or whatever. Tell me how this is even possible. Like it was posted like 5 minutes, like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, whatever, and it already had 1 million views.
Oh,
Like,
that's nothing, man.
1 million views.
That's
in
rookie numbers.
1 million views in 10 minutes.
Between them, they have like 300 million followers.
Yeah, but 10 minutes you get 1 million views?
Yeah.
1 million. It was like I couldn't like I'm like 1 million people have seen this in 10 minutes.
Well, let's look
This
at
cannot be
Kylie Jenner.
true. Man, people out on these streets buying Instagram followers. They're buying so much.
No,
of this stuff. I'm like
Kylie Jenner. You think Kylie Jenner buys Instagram followers?
1 million in 5 minutes. All right, let me see what she averages on the regular.
Dude, you know how often people go on Instagram? It's
A
like something
million-
1 in every 5 minutes is spent on is spent on Facebook or Instagram. That's very doable. You divide that by the number of followers and the number of hours in a day. Like it's
Yes.
very possible.
Let me look at that. Let me find like a video. Jeez, Kylie Jenner's. Damn. Okay, look. So her last video got 3 million views, right? So you're saying in the first 10 minutes she got 1 million views, and then over the rest of the period she only got 2 million views. You know what I mean? Like it sort of seems suspect. And like there's some Instagram models that I follow as well, and you're like, they have like, I don't know, 50. They have like 50. Oh, no, you're on the page.
No, I'm just like on this thing here.
You're on that page.
Some of these guys look like they're about to die when they weigh in.
Oh, you talk about like.
Yeah, they look like they're about to die.
I'm telling you, you gotta find that. I was trying to send you the video of Ty and Woodley stepping on the scale. It's ridiculous.
Does he look like he's dying?
He looks like a different person. It looks completely different. You're like, how is this even possible?
But what are you saying about those Instagram models? I'll Google it.
But no, there's just so many Instagram models that are just like they just have like 50,000 followers, and then you look at their picture and it's like 500 likes and 1 comment, and you're like.
But it's like, who actually likes those things?
I guess, but then why would you follow them? You know what I mean? Like, why would
people weigh in to look?
So
they don't wait. They follow to look.
I guess maybe I'm just more pessimistic about that type of stuff. But I don't know. It's it always throws me off because when I see it, I'm just like, you should be getting a bit more engagement than that. Like, let's just be fair.
Yeah, but it's not like they're followers; they're their friends. All right, let's look at Tyra and Woodley here. The Ring Girls will love this.
Ty and Woodley. Oh god. Talk about ring girls. Ariane Celeste. Please hit me up. Please hit me up. Do it for our country. Do it for our people. Please. Just
What do you mean do it for our people?
Well, she's Filipino as well. Or half Filipino, I think. So
Oh, damn, Tyron Woodley looks very skinny.
yeah, so it's...
But because he's usually so bulky when he
that's
fights.
what I mean. Like, when you see him, he's just fully... sort of like inflated to a point. Like, it's like...
Yeah.
He's also like not... He's not like fully... Like, it just looks like it's... You touch him, it's going to be a bit like... The bit of give to it. But
He looks very plump when he fights.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good
But he looks skinny there.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really
Jeez,
weird.
his legs are humongous.
Yeah.
These chicks behind him are freaking out.
He's got mad quads.
He's a
Oh,
super athlete.
have you seen
Compared to Galvin Gaslam as well.
Yeah.
He's got kind of like a dad bod.
Yeah. Have you seen that video or whatever where it's like Alistair over him on the scales and it's like that chick she like kept just like death staring him going, oh my, like she's just so intensely just like staring at him. It's
He's
like
a pretty good looking guy over him.
Yeah, especially when he was Uberim. Oh, I missed Uberim. I missed Uberim, man.
What was he like in his prime? Was he just like a...
He was literally like a god. He was just like unstoppable. It was ridiculous. Like ridiculous. Like
He was champion.
he was like that's the only thing that's hindering his career is that he's never won the UFC belt. If he won the UFC belt, he'll be the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Then how did he never win it?
Because he came later in his career. Like he fought like in Strikeforce. He fought in like Pride. He did a lot of K1 kickboxing before he went into the like MMA. So he already had like
UFC was after his prime.
yeah, like when he got to the UFC, he already had like 45, 50 fights, something like that. 50 fights, like, and it was
Not
only,
including kickboxing.
not including kickboxing, just MMA, and he was already like 30. It was only 30, sorry. Think about it, you're 30 years old and he's had 50 fights.
Got the most damaged brain.
Oh, 100%. And that's why if you see, like, he gets, not even like hit, like if he gets glazed over on his chin, it's game over for him. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Like guys like that, it's like you made your bank. Just retire.
But then if he keeps fighting, you sort of got to think, does he have bank? Is he really in a good position like that, or has he sort of just messed himself up in a way? But
Yeah, well, it's like guys like Charles Sonnen still fight. He doesn't need the money,
yeah,
so they just like it. I think.
yeah, that's I guess I think I feel like a lot of people is just for the love of the game because I guess how do you transfer over to something else? That's like what you've known your whole life, I guess.
But like Chael has other options.
Yeah,
He just-
that's what I mean.
just
Chael's the one that's
Just loves it.
he just loves it. Yeah, he is an animal, but
Right, we're at 102, by the way.
yeah, so
Charles Sonnen's hilarious.
he's funny. He's really good. Original Conor McGregor, you know.
Yeah, he was the
Basically-
best. He's still better than Conor. Conor was just like Conor just straight up was like just hurt the other guy's feelings.
Yeah,
Whereas Chael was funny.
yeah. Chael was fun. I think Conor as well. Like, cause I think it's just him being Irish as well. It's like the accent just adds
Yeah.
to it. Like,
I would invade his favela on horseback.
it's just so good, man. It's so
But yeah,
good.
I think Chael was just a promoter. Conor was just he's a shit talker.
Yeah,
But he obviously can promote.
yeah. Oh, most definitely. But yeah, it's like we sort of said before. Like throughout all these podcasts, like there needs to be another Conor McGregor that emerges for the UFC. Like,
Well, they had Nate.
yeah, but Nate was like he got famous off Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Like, Nate,
They helped each other.
I guess
Connor's other fights didn't do anywhere near as well.
that's what I mean. Like Nate, no one really cared. Like Nate was always looked at as Nick's younger brother. You know, that was just fact. Like
But
Nick was
was
the
a
one-
huge star.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Nick was the one that fought like Anderson Silva, GSP. He fought, all the big guns. So we'll see what happens. BJ Penny fought as well, so it's like I know it'd be pretty good, but yeah. Wrap it up here, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Quick 50 episodes, just pretty
I know.
insane. I know.
But I guess that's bye for me as well. Like I'll be back
Yeah.
occasionally as a guest.
Yeah, I
but
was good. Yeah.
I'm wrapping up.
Again, if no one, no one's really caught up with the last episode, it's goodbye with
Yeah,
David.
moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on.
doing some other shit. I
Yeah.
don't really know what I'm doing. I just know I'm doing a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I haven't planned it out very well at all.
Yeah. David's got some. He's got some big plans in the works. So, he's sort of one of the reasons why he's gonna step away. But, I will still see David a lot, but you guys won't.
We
hear-
should do a big recording with like 3 or 4 people. We
Yeah,
don't have
that's
the
what-
mics.
That's what I mean. We're actually discussing when I already have the next podcast I'm gonna release after this one, the one next week. I pre-recorded with one of our friends, and we're actually discussing that before. Like, we should do like a group one or something where it would be like just a good vibe, because like I guess I should say like the direction I want to sort of go towards is like a sort of we sort of inspired this off like a T-Fat K type of vibe, like
Yeah.
Brandon Sharp, Brian Callen type of thing. So I don't know. I sort of want to like take this more like at the JRE, Bill Simmons type of vibe. Just get a bunch of cool people on. Sometimes if people heard the solo podcast talk just solo or whatever.
Yeah, you can
so
do it on your own.
Exactly.
You can do a good one on your own.
Exactly. So yeah, just see what happens. We're riding out 50 episodes. Though. It's pretty insane. A lot of podcasts don't make it to this milestone. So
True. You can always just get
Type it up.
Ben out your roommate just to do it.
Oh yeah. I think he is keen. He is keen.
He knows a lot about music.
He is keen. Yeah. So who knows what happens? We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I guess last time, David. Do you have anything else to say?
I think I said it last week, but thank you for listening, and I hope you stay with Jordan, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
This is like doing a podcast is a weird thing. Like,
It is weird. It is weird. Yeah, it is.
That's pretty
weird.
cool.
And like, I guess it sort of just spawned out of nowhere as well. It sort of was just like messaging on Facebook. We're like, yeah, we should.
This
do a
is just
podcast.
uni holidays. Do you want to do one? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? And then somehow it's just turned to 50 episodes over what? 6 months, basically
Yeah.
6 months. So
Pretty good.
half a year, good run, and cheers to everyone who's listening.
Yeah, big
definitely
thanks.
a lot more to come, So don't make it. I'm not gonna try and make it sound like there's nothing happening. Definitely more to come. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll let David sign off.
All right. Bye.
Bye.